Let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Do you consider yourself a man of your word in most every circumstance?
Yeah, you have to be, right? You have to be. If you're not a man of your word, at this point, no one could trust you. So yes, I'm going to go with saying yes on that answer. Yes.
What if I told you the football coach of your proud alma mater, the University of Florida, claims he's a man of his word, but when there's $13.85 million involved, he has a hard time being a man of his word? What if I told you that about Billy Napier?
I would say in college football nowadays, wouldn't surprise me at all if that happened. This is a shocking revelation, yet I look at it and go, probably happening a lot all over the place. This is just a high-profile thing. But yeah, this sucks. It sucks, and what it's bad for is the entire school and Billy Napier going forward past this, because you know what the game of college football is right now. It's about a bag of cash to get the best players. And at this point, if you're reneging on one of these deals and you're not getting one of these deals done, oh, man, not a good thing to have in your back pocket.
My suggestion to you, burn that goddamn diploma. Let's get to the open. By all accounts, is not recorded in front of a live studio audience. All right, I'm putting you on the spot right now. One word to describe the Florida Gators football program. Zach Krantz has one word he can use, not a collection of words, not a phrase, but one word to describe the current state of the Florida Gators football program. It is what?
Questionable. Questionable is the one. I can come up with a bunch of phrases, but when you throw in me and just tell me one word, it is questionable. This story is weird. Billy Napier's on thin ice to start off with, and then this comes out, and Rashada's been to Florida. He's been to Arizona State. Now he's in Georgia. When the story comes out that the only money he saw from Florida, which is actually kind of funny, was litigation money because John Ruiz in Miami was going after him for not taking his deal of $9.5 million, I guess it was. Let me tell you, I feel like I'm playing a video game and we're in the simulation right now because none of this seems real, yet it's very real in the world of college football.
All right, so let me just go through some of the key details. And this was first reported by CBS, and we saw this early in the week. This is John Talty, who did an exhaustive job reporting this story. Breaking: Georgia quarterback Jaden Rashada suing Florida head coach Billy Napier and top Gators booster Hugh Hathcock for fraud, among other allegations, over a failed $13.85 million NIL deal. Okay, so let me just go through the bullet points. That our first account, by the way, that we hit by all accounts with LaVicka and Krantz. Florida offered $13.85 million in NIL money, in agreement that would span over the course of 4 years to five-star California-bred quarterback Jaden Rashada, okay? Anybody who pays attention to any college football in South Florida knows the name Jaden Rashada because Miami was hot and heavy for him as well. And as you mentioned, John Ruiz and the Life Wallet crew threw damn near $10 million his way, reportedly. So what did Florida do? No problem. Jaden, you want almost $14 million? Come on. Take our word for it. Sign that commitment. Let's get to work. And so Jaden Rashada, after reportedly some of these higher-ups at Florida are telling his agent, like, hey, come on, like, let's go. And the agent's saying, Jaden, you should sign this. What if they pull it off the table? What if they pull it off the table? Jaden Rashada, his 17-year-old kid, says, all right. And part of the reason he said, all right, is that Florida said, you know what? We'll give you $500,000 just for putting pen to paper. $500,000 just for putting pen to paper. Zach, I don't know about you, but right now, if someone told me, Ken, I'll give you $500 to sign something, sign away your likeness or even your name, the way that my finances are currently constituted, I would say, you know what? I think we got a deal. Maybe throw in another $50 and then let's go.
My only question back would be black ink or blue ink, sir.
Right.
What would you like on this? You want pink ink? I have a green pen also.
What
would you like?
How about a quill, like we're in the late 1800s?
Right. Do you want me to prick myself and do it in blood? I'll do it in blood also. Whatever you want. That might cost $750. Right.
I will put DNA to paper for $550.
Right. It's crazy. I can't believe there's signing bonus. As bad as it is with NIL and the portal and getting all the money, there's now damn signing bonuses too. We are now reaching a point of college football and college sports. I want you to say college football, although college football is the big part of it. We've seen it in college basketball, not really in the other sports yet, not that we know of. We're reaching a point now where you can't call it amateur anymore, right? Like not even like the lowest guy on the totem pole on a team is still going to probably get some sort of $500 bonus or whatever it is for a month, for a year, whatever the case is. Some teams have the whole team like kind of sponsored for like a low amount of money from some sponsor, which is good anyway. But now with signing bonuses, I mean, we're talking about AAA. We're talking about college football now being AAA to the pros. There is nothing more that you could say about it. You cannot argue with any of this stuff. And now with this kind of thing happening, where there's now a lawsuit with a kid who's now at his third school in less than 2 years, and now going to be at Georgia, probably starting at Georgia, probably playing and going pro after that. Almost $14 million lawsuit against a coach in the collective for Florida. This is bad for all college sports in general, and worse that you're the first team, the first major school to get put in the middle of all this. It's embarrassing as someone who's a Gator, because I know there's Bull Gators out there that honestly, and we were joking about money before for $500. $14 million ain't anything to them. They're nothing. It's not a big deal at all. They could spit $14 million and be fine 5 minutes later. The fact that this happened to a high-profile quarterback recruit for Florida, and now with everything going forward with the NIL and with guys getting cash, this is a terrible look for Florida and an even worse look for Billy Napier, who I said before is on total thin ice with the program and with fans at this point, unless he wins and wins big this year, which might not happen. Man, I wouldn't want to be in Billy Napier's office right now or in his shoes or anywhere near him, because with this all going on, the pressure is on him 10 more times than it was an hour ago, 2 hours ago, or 2 days ago.
So as you can glean, no single cent ever made its way to Jaden Rashada as part of this agreement with Florida. Right. The key name in all of this is a booster by the name of Hugh Hathcock. You could have given me 5 guesses without any context of what the name of arguably the top booster at Florida is, and I would have in 5 guesses been able to piece together Hugh Hathcock. It's the most SEC booster name that has ever existed in Northern Florida, specifically Hugh Hathcock. And you guessed it. How did he make his fortune? Car dealership. That would have taken one guess as to how he made all of his money. So it turns out, though, Hugh Hathcock says, I will pay $12 million through my lucrative car dealership to pay the vast majority of $13.85 to Jaden Rashada. And then Hugh Hathcock said, you know what? Thinking about selling the business. And we're going to have to figure out a different way how to do this. But don't worry, I'm Hugh Hathcock, and I will find a way to pay this kid this money. But it turns out he never did. Deadlines came, deadlines went, more deadlines came, more deadlines went. Nothing, absolutely nothing came Jaden Rashada's way. So much so that it got to the spring after Jaden Rashada got to campus, and there was still no signing bonus. $500,000, and Billy Napier is taking it upon himself to say, hey, Rashada family, it's okay. I promise this man is going to wire you $500,000. And then it never came. The only money that changed hands was from one of Florida's collectives to Miami, to alleviate litigation, $115,000, which is more than a quarter of $500,000, or just about a quarter of $500,000, because John Ruiz and company were saying that this kid backed out of an agreement. There is potential legal issues here. And so Florida said, don't worry, kid, we'll take care of it. Wire $115,000 to people at Miami, but still no money to Jaden Rashada. To this day, we are recording this May 24th, 2024. Jaden Rashada has gone to Arizona State, and now he's at Georgia, and there still hasn't been a single solitary cent that has been delivered to him. And to add insult to injury, in this story, it is detailed that Jaden Rashada walked up to Kirby Smart, said, Coach Smart, coach who dominates the Florida Gators, coach who out-recruits the Florida Gators, coach who beats the Florida Gators prodigiously now on a regular basis. Just so you know, I'm going to be suing the head coach of the University of Florida. Is that okay? And Kirby Smart's reply was, yep, go for it.
Right.
That's the final night twist in this entire thing.
Oh, it's such a nightmare first off, it's a nightmare for Billy Napier in a bunch of different reasons. Obviously, the first one is it's a terrible look for him when it comes to him talking to any recruits from now on, because every recruit and their parent is going to say, well, what about what happened with Rashada? Like, that's not going to happen to us, right? No. Okay. The second one, how bad of a position is Billy Napier in that his head, I'm not going to say head recruiter because that's someone on campus, but the head guy of the collective, the main guy that's going to pay the most amount of money, is not doing this. And at every other school, those guys are doing this. It's such a bad look for this team. It's such a bad placement to be in going forward. Oh.
You are in the SC goddamn team, okay? You are trying to go toe-to-toe with Georgia. And whether or not there's merit to this lawsuit or anything comes of this lawsuit.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yes, this probably gets settled outside of the courts,
right.
But you're 1,000% right. It doesn't matter, because now the perception is that mighty Florida not only can't come through with a $13 million NIL deal, they're recklessly just sending out offers they can't back up, but they also, mighty Florida, can't even reach into their pockets, pull out change, and come up with a $500,000 signing bonus to a major prospect. You know who's not defaulting on, by SEC standards, what's pocket change, a $500,000 signing bonus? Georgia,
right?
Alabama, Ole Miss, pretty much every team, not Vanderbilt in the SEC. Right. But here's Florida that can't even come up with $500,000. The damage that this has already done to Billy Napier and his future at Florida, but to the program for as long as he is the boss at Florida, recruiting is screwed. And the way that all of this has come together, the word I use to best describe the University of Florida football program is unserious. You can't say that you want to compete for national championships. You can't say that you're a top tier of college football, even in the vaunted SEC, when you can't even pay out a $500,000 signing bonus, and you lie about it and or repeatedly come up short, empty promises on it over and over and over again. As we sit here, May 2024, Billy Napier and that Florida football program, unserious.
My whole thing with this was, if it came down to making this kid happy for $500K, just to make him stay on campus, make him stay there, and at least give him the, okay, don't worry, we're going to pay you, just here's $500K, we'll get you the rest really soon. Where was another goddamn booster that heard about this story that said, whoa, I'm not letting Rashada leave campus. Get $500,000 out of that account, send it over to that family, make sure we're good to go here. If I'm Billy Napier, I would be going to these boosters and saying, listen, this guy, half-cock, Huthcock, whatever his name is, he is totally right. He has screwed us. We're getting him out of this. He's selling his car dealerships. We don't want anything to do with this guy anymore. I need your help. $500K keeps Rashada on campus, and then we will figure out the rest as we go. But if we don't give this kid the money, he's going to leave, and something bad is going to happen. If I'm Billy Napier, it's not just wins and losses on the field. It's not just wins and losses in the recruiting battle when the kid puts his top 8 out and you're on there or not. It's the fact now that you're going to be able to sit down one-on-one with the number 1 recruit in the nation coming up in the next year or two. And the number 1 question is going to be, I get that I'm going to start and have playing time and this and that. You offered me $4.5 million to come to campus. Am I going to see any of that, or is this a joke at this point? Yep. Billy Napier screwed himself by letting the collective do what they did and not begging someone else. $500K, you could have went to any goddamn bull gator in South Florida and said to them, we're going to lose recruiting classes, not just one kid. We're going to lose recruiting classes and transfer portal kids because we can't pay our bills. Help. Someone would have fucking helped this guy. It's not even a question. The bull gators are rich. You're not a bull gator because you graduate. I'm not a goddamn bull gator. I'm not even close. If anything, I'm a bullshit gator. I'm all the way down at the bottom. Okay. This is different. $500K saved Billy Napier's face. And instead, now, unless this guy this year wins a national championship or gets him to the playoff, he is done, in my mind. Done. And not just because he might not be the greatest coach, because I can't trust him now in those meetings because the kids won't trust him. It sucks. It sucks right now as a Gator fan, knowing what's going on, knowing you're the Gators, knowing you're in the SEC. Texas and Oklahoma is coming. The SEC is bigger, better, the whole deal. And then you're now looked at as the guy who can't pay his bills. What the hell happened?
Well,